Hello, everybody, and welcome to the reading for the week of February 19th to the 26th. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now, and to provide that in a manner that is easy and effortless to understand, to hear, and to integrate for anyone who is listening now and in the future. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible for the highest and greatest good of all concerned, including this beautiful planet we call home. I'd like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of beauty, of healing, of transformation, of empowerment, of whatever it is in each of your hearts and minds, those of you listening now and in the future, that you may get what you most need today and for the week to come. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming and being here. We set the tone for ease, for clarity, for wisdom, for upliftment, for transformation, for empowerment, for healing. Again, for anything that collectively is in our heart and mind. Let us see truly and clearly into the world. Let us see truly and clearly into our own hearts and minds, that we may be congruent as we walk through the world and be a beacon of light and love for all those we encounter. With those intentions set, let's get down to the reading this week. I'm hoping you are all well. The return of spring in the Northern Hemisphere is certainly a good thing for mood, I must say. What do we need to know for this coming week? Okay, recent past. Influence is waning. Here we have the King of Hearts. Kings and queens, the maturation of their suit. In this case, the suit of heart, emotions. And so this being wise with our emotions, knowing what they are, being present to them, letting them be, in the sense of allowing ourselves to have our feelings, but not being dominated by them. That's the energy that this card holds. It's this idea of being intelligent, emotionally intelligent. Yes, we have feelings. Yes, we have emotions, and we are more than those feelings and emotions. They are a part and an aspect of our life, and we leverage them for our good. We leverage them for the collective good. We understand ourselves better as a result of our feelings and emotions, and they help to guide us towards that which we want. They help us to get clear about what we don't want and what we prefer, so that we can turn our attention towards what we do want. So that's the energy of the recent past. The present, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we have feminine energy in the realm of the material world, making things happen. So the Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles is the earth suit. She is very wise in the ways of the material realm, and she is very, very good. This is a keen businesswoman, or somebody who has very practical sense that way, who looks out at the world and sees the possibilities and sees the abilities of those around her, and is able to bring those different opportunities, those different possibility spaces together for the greater good, for anyone who is involved, anyone close to her. And so there's this benefit for bringing people together, making good things happen. This is the energy of our present, this energy of the feminine, the sacred feminine, creating this clearing. So moving forward, making good things happen on the material realm, not just for the self, but for others as well. The near future, oh my goodness, we have a house full of kings and queens today. The near future is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the realm of air. This is ideas and action, and we've come across this one before, and this is very, very practical energy. This is looking out at the world. What is it that needs to be done, and let's get down to it and do it. but from a place of the greater good, from a place of what is wise, what is fair, what is appropriate, from a place of cutting through the nonsense. And also, as I said, there's the symbol of the dove. We talked about this one last week, the symbol of the dove, from this place of peace, from this place of well-being for the collective. So this is the energy. And again, the masculine energy tends to be more rational, linear, practical, and it's not to say the feminine isn't practical, but it's a different quality of energy. There's the feminine sort of has that natural, more communal oriented and more nurturing, whereas the kings and the masculine energy tends to be sort of more linear and, cutting through things and getting things done. Kings and queens always see the possibilities of that around them, and they're good at leveraging the talents of those around them as well. So we have a lot of sort of mastery in these cards, in our past, present, and future, this sort of idea of being in the driver's seat, of being quite conscious and quite intentional about how we're using our gifts and our abilities in the world to take action in a way that's appropriate, not only for ourselves, but for our communities and for the world at large. The foundation of the reading for this week, what is it about? Oh, we have the Knight of Wands, or the Prince in my deck. And knights are events that go in and out and change very quickly. In this case, this is creativity, inspiration, and passion. So it's changes that light us up, that inspire us, that make us, that fill us with creative energy and vision and possibility space. So this is the energy that's sitting in our foundation. It's changes, and rapid changes, that are inspiring and enlivening and evoking greater inspiration and excitement from us. This is what we're looking at this week, is these seeing possibilities, things opening up and it creating openings within us to see greater possibility for ourselves and our role in the world. How we need to conduct ourselves this week. Success, 10 of Hearts. This card of again, when it comes to the hearts, we're looking at emotions, at how we feel. And this card is all about celebrating and being in a positive space, celebrating life, celebrating community, celebrating each other, being in appreciation and gratitude, allowing ourselves to bask in this energy and bringing others with us if we can. As you see, it's sort of a community of people, whether it's a wedding, we're not sure, but these people are together and they're enjoying life together. They're happy. And so this bringing others into our celebration, bringing others into our success, celebrating together, enjoying life together. This is the energy of how we need to be for the coming week. This continued, deliberate, intentional application of our life force towards what is blessed and good, and awareness of it and anchoring of it in our field from a very positive place. How others are going to be. Card of Courage, 7 of Wands. So this standing ground, you see this guy, he's standing with his back against the wall. He doesn't have his shield up and he doesn't have his sword up. It's not like he's actually fighting. He's not ready to attack or anything, but you have this energy coming towards him, but he's standing his ground with courage and discrimination. He's clear about what the stand is, and he's speaking his truth clearly and well. This is how others are going to be. He's standing on a heart, which is a rose rather, which is the symbol of highest energy of love. And so this indicator is in the space of others. Look out into the world and see those courageously standing and speaking their truth. And in their courage, helping us to stand a little taller and speak a little more clearly and to own our truth as well in the world. It's an interesting time, lots of censorship happening, and it's interesting because when we have censorship, of course, we have a lack of solution, a lack of communication. It tends to follow the lines of oppression, of dictatorship, that kind of energy. And so it's very important to support those who are speaking up, who are presenting a different perspective. Even if you don't agree with the perspective, understanding that diversity of perspective is always, always essential for coming to a better solution. It's essential for us to hear all perspectives so we can come up with the best solution possible for this beautiful planet, for each other, for this world that we call home. And so this energy of courage in others, acknowledging them, seeing them, recognizing the courage in others, and the courage that it takes to speak up, especially in the climate that's ongoing right now, where anyone speaking up is attacked. It's quite I've seen it on numerous feeds, on feedback, and on Facebook. I'm sure you have as well. But the grace and courage of those who are saying, hey, wait a minute, let's look at this again. Let's just take a step back. Let's have a different perspective on this. You know, I'm looking at this and this is what I'm seeing. And rather than attacking them, finding out what that's all about. Because again, we can't come up with excellent solutions unless we have diverse and broad perspective. Sameness is not what we're here to do. We're not here to be the same. We're here to be diverse. We're here to have broader perspective. We're here to co-create magnificently from that broader perspective. So as I said, as you see others speaking up and standing up and having their say, rather than, I don't know if you're the kind of person who would do this, but rather than make them wrong, perhaps ask them why they think what they do. Ask them what it is they see, because possibly they see something you don't. And how wonderful is it that we could help each other to have a bigger, broader perspective and come up with amazing solutions. And we may be this person too, because we are the others in other people's lives. So if you are somebody who has been holding back a little bit because you're just afraid, because it just doesn't feel like a safe thing to do to speak up, I would encourage you to find gentle, safe places to practice your voice with people maybe who are supportive of you. Just giving yourself an opportunity to hear what it is that's in your heart in a safe climate, in a safe space, with somebody who will hold you in a good way so that you can sound what it is that's in your heart. Because often we just know that we don't feel good about something. And in the process of moving it out of our bodies and out into the world, whether that's onto a piece of paper, whether it's into the presence of a friend or somebody supportive or community of like-minded people, it gives us an opportunity to take what it is that we're feeling dis-ease about or uncomfortable about and explore it safely and well so that we can understand what is it about what's going on that's making us uncomfortable. It's so important. And if we can be in service to each other in this way, to be a safe space for others to have an opportunity to explore and talk about what's going on for them so that they can come to their own clarity and wisdom and distinction and have greater empowerment in their lives about making whatever choices they need to make for their good. Okay, and then the outcome. Competition. So we're going to have more of this facing off. You see the two guys here, they're definitely facing off. The name is competition. They're sort of doing this thing where it's that polarity energy, right? And so we need to transcend polarity is what it comes down to. We need to all grow up and become emotionally mature and be able to have conversations and discuss things in a respectful and responsible way. Remember, we have kings and queens here. These aren't babies. These are people, mature adults who are thoughtful and creative and objective and reflective and can be considerate. Again, this idea of holding space for each other and doing it with kindness and with respect and with love. There's a lot of short fuses. The fear is that's being cultivated in our communities and in the world is not helping us to transcend polarity. But by transcending polarity, we create room for peace, for conversation, for diversity, for healing, for transformation. It's so important for us to transcend the differences, to transcend the divide, to be a bridge to each other so that we can hear each other, respect each other, and move on. Even if we don't necessarily appreciate the other person's perspective, it's so important not to shout somebody else down or to oppress their perspective. Just hear each other. It can be challenging because we've been so encultured to be defensive and at war with, and there's so much of that that's just even in the language of our culture. And so it's time for us to grow up and to see how we can to recognize in each other that we're all one. We really are all one, doing different versions of the same thing, and that those different versions are important. So that's the outcome, is this energy of when you find yourself in a position of conflict or opposition or duality, how do you transcend it? How do you bring the two halves together? How, while holding your truth and speaking your truth and being a clearing for others' truth? This is big, really big, and it's part, again, this idea of us growing up as humanity, is becoming mature and capable in the world, taking action from a good place, a clear place, a clean place. This work that we've done on the level of the heart, clarifying our values, what's important to us, helps to inform us in terms of taking action on the material level and on the realm of ideas and out into the world. From a place of inspiration, always from the place of highest enthusiasm and inspiration. That will always serve us well. It will always take us in the direction of what lights us up. And then the universe is happy to send us more of that. That's the secret of life, is to go after those things that call to us and bring us to life and bring us to joy and bring us to enthusiasm and inspiration. Because boy, that's where the juicy bits of life happen. This is very good. This is very good this week. I mean, we're definitely being called to grow up. So, we're going to have to do that. And that's okay. We're getting better with this all the time. Oh, yeah. And being kind with each other, supportive of each other. Again, exploring the diversity of life and understanding, even if it's like life is a buffet. And if it was all the same thing, my goodness, wouldn't that be dull? Wouldn't that be boring? That's not what we're here to experience. We're here to be able to look at the buffet of life and choose the pieces that we want and enjoy those pieces without somebody making us wrong for putting what we do on our plate. And we don't have to stand at the buffet and yell no at the chicken salad if we don't like chicken salad. But it's fun to explore with each other why we're attracted to the things that we are. For the person who's expressing it, it gives them a chance to work out what's in their field around something. And for those on the other side, it gives us a chance to think about what it is that we prefer and why do we prefer that, and to understand ourselves better in the process and to understand each other better. I mean, understanding, peace through understanding, it's a pretty wonderful thing. So there's the message for this week, the reading for this week. Let's pull our card to grow on. Just burying them in the deck here so that we get a good shuffle. Okay. What is it that we need to take away this week? What is our card to grow in this week? The energy of encapsulating the energy of the reading so that we can take it forward with us in a good way this week. The Fool. So we didn't have any major arcanas in this week's reading, but we've pulled one here for the card to grow on. And major arcanas are those cards that refer us to our bigger picture life, our purpose, our being here on the planet. And this encapsulates what we've been talking about. The energy of the Fool is curious, it's creative, it's excited, it's inspired. It's like the first day of summer vacation when you're a kid, and you have the whole summer stretching out ahead of you, or like waking up on a long weekend, the first day of a long weekend, or the beginning of your own holidays, and just being excited by the possibilities. You have a day ahead of you that you get to choose what you want to do with. So that's what the energy of the Fool is like. It's this inspired, wide open, curious, joyful energy. Just stepping out into the world with fresh eyes and looking at everything from a new perspective, and carrying that love of life with you into all that you do. So this is our card to grow on this week. This is how we need to be, how we need to take what we've just seen in the reading and apply it in the world. It's like stepping out into life with an open and light heart, trusting that everything is perfect. It's unfolding exactly the way it needs to. And as we each find our heart and speak and walk from that authentic place in our own being, and we're kind and supportive of others doing the same, we will transcend whatever obstacles are in front of us. We will find wonderful solutions. We will help each other to become more than we were, and we can heal this planet. It's going to take all of us really wanting it, pulling it in, and moving towards that possibility space. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to be possible, and it is possible. But it takes all of us stepping up and speaking up and holding clarity and love and respect and wisdom in our hearts, and being really curious about each other's perspective, really curious about alternatives that we may not have explored before, because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is, as we all know, the definition of insanity. And in many ways, that's what we've been doing societally. We have to look to the opportunities that already exist, the opportunities that surround us, that just haven't been brought to the center, that haven't had their chance to shine. We have phenomenal resources at our disposal to take the world in a good direction, from regenerative farming practices to alternative education models and putting children front and center, to understanding, to our nutrition, to making different choices from the foods that we're eating, choosing to the best of our capacity things that are foods that are local, that are healthy, that are organic, that have been grown with love by local growers, growing our own food, changing our relationship to life. I could go on and on and on. You could tell I have lots of different ideas about all this, and I know you have too, ideas in your heart. But what I really want to encourage you to do is keep your eyes open for new ways of being, because that's the Fool. It's new beginnings, new starts, different ways of doing things, not the same old, but something new. Because what exists in the world, the paradigms and the structures that are continuing to unfold and do their thing, farming that is monocropping and globalization and using chemical fertilizers and pesticides that strip the soil of its life, that doesn't work. That's the old that has to be done away with. The new is returning people to their centers, to their power, to their passion, to their love. And then from that place, as individuals, from those activated, loving, kind places, honoring and stewarding the land, we can turn the world around. There's a lot to be done, and we all have gifts and attributes to bring to this, but we won't know what our gifts and attributes are unless we're connected with ourselves and living our truth and speaking our truth. If we're simply parroting the narrative, that's not connecting to who our authentic self is. So be courageous, find your voice, explore your voice with safe people, and develop who you are. Stand in your beautiful self. We're all waking up. We're all discovering this. Some of us have done it a little sooner than others, but really we're all on this journey together. And we're going to do it. We're going to change the world. It takes each of us, and it takes loving kindness to ourselves and to everyone else. It's a good card. Let's get out there and grow on it this week. Creator, thank you for this opportunity to be of service. Thank you for this opportunity to share these messages. I thank you for each and every individual who listens to these calls. I ask that you be with them, that you bless them with clarity, with wisdom, with congruence, with empowerment, with courage. That each person who listens to these readings will be transformed for the higher and better, that they will know themselves better, that they will shine more brightly in the world and bring their uniqueness and their love of life out into the world safely and beautifully, to be seen, recognized, heard, and acknowledged by others. In this way, we will all shine more brightly and transform this planet in a magnificent way, loving every step of the way, doing what it is we're here to do, to make this world more beautiful, to match the beauty we know is possible in our hearts. Blessings to this beautiful planet who is so patient with us. Thank you for continuing to shelter us, support us, take care of us in all ways. We're waking up and we seek to serve you as well as all life everywhere. Thank you to all those who hold this space, both in the body and beyond. I am grateful to all who are here for these readings every week. Much love and light to everyone. The reading is at an end, and so it is. Take care. We'll see you next week.